What's good, Skloppers? Papa Skep back from the store with milk, cigarettes, and an Unchained budget deck profile to show off featuring none of the Fiendsmith cards. The full main deck, I think, is like 69 bucks. Nice. And the extra deck is also fairly expensive, but there's an engine and a card in the extra deck you can cut to get the whole deck well under $100. Right now, the main and extra, I think, is around $140, a little under. And then the side can be whatever you want for your local metagame. I'm just playing a bunch of commons and shit. So let's talk about the card by card here. Please excuse any jump cuts. These gloves are not great for showing deck profiles, but you know how VTubers are. You got to keep our hands a secret. We are playing the Unchained Soul of Dog Shit. You can cut this card now that you have 2 Sharvara. The reason you were playing it with Sharv at 1 is because you'd have to send it to your graveyard with either Fiendish Rhino Warrior or to link summon Yama itself to set your Unchained trap to get your Aruha off to the races. And since you only had 1 Sharvara and it was in the grave, your last Unchained monster would summon this from deck. You would use Shyama on field to target and destroy it, and then revive the Sharvara to make Caesar. You no longer need to do this, and you can cut this, but subjectively, this came up a ton of times to clear boards. If you Nibiru your opponent, you can target the token and link it with this. If you use Shyama to pop your own guy against a Fiendsmith player that summoned Desiree, you can pop Sequence equipped to it, which means you can now target it, summon this from deck, link off their Desiree, or bait out the negation to summon your Soul of Rage. So I still think it's very good for breaking boards. I think if you are playing board breakers like Droplet and Dark Ruler No More, you probably should be playing this, but if you're playing this build, you can cut it. I just really liked it. 1 copy of Soul Abominable Soul Man. You can get this card out of your hand fairly easily. I like it to push damage and as an extra piece of spot removal. If your Caesar gets Book of Moon or Daruma Karma Candidate or whatever, this is a way to discard a Sharvara in your hand if you search it with something and then don't end up using it from your hand. You can cut it as well. I just really like it. 1 Unchained Twin Sarama, who shouldn't be here yet because we're not done talking about the Unchained Souls. I just have my deck organized by rarity, and all my other Unchained cards are filthy commons. Shyama, only play 1 of it because you really don't want to draw it. Unfortunately, by playing like both of these cards, you're playing 2 Unchained Souls you don't want to draw, which isn't great, but again, you can go up on cards. I am not playing 40. And our double copies of Unchained Soul of Sharvara. This is like my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh, I think. I love this thing so much. You get to fade effect negation or targeted negation on your tour guide, which is why sometimes if you open tour guide plus A-Bomb's Prison, you'll search this and then protect your tour guide from Imperm if your opponent doesn't know that they should hold it. Double Rakea, I'm playing 2 of this because I'm over 40 cards, and if you're going up on any of the Unchained cards, this is the one to go up on because this plus trap is full combo. You would never go up on this because this plus trap does nothing. You need an already set up graveyard for this to resolve. So you want to exclusively access Sarama mid-combo. Rake is a perfectly suitable combo starter. And the final Unchained monster, we're playing 3 copies of Aruha. Let me get that spell out of here. 3 Aruha. Aruha is what you're searching. It's either what you're searching off of Yama if you didn't open it, and if you did open it, you will search Rakea, because both of them will destroy a card you control for no cost, which will then get your conga line rolling. 3 of the cards that make it so we're playing at minimum 4 copies of any of the other Unchained cards. A-Bomb's Prison just searches a card. It's kind of unfortunate because this card makes you lose to Droll and Lock, because you'll search Sharv to protect your tour guide, and then you don't have something to you can't search off of Yama. That did happen to me round 1, but I literally would have won the game if I remembered I could have popped Sequence with Sharvara, but it was my first time playing this deck in like half a year, so I was a little rough. Unchained, Abominable, Chamber, and Escape of the Unchained are the traps to round out our lineup. These cards are both great. You're trying to end on Escape. Luckily, you don't have to open either or of these because your combo always sends Sharvara to the graveyard, which will set Escape unless you opened Escape, and then you'll set Chamber. This is an integral part of your inboard. I would not cut down on it. Our sub-engines are 3 copies of Tour Guide from the Underworld. This replaces Fiendsmith Engraver along with the Fiendish Rhino. This makes it so your whole deck has a 1-card combo that gets it off to the races. Tour Guide, Summon, Fiendish Rhino, Link for Yama, Chainlink 1 Yama, Search Aruha, Chainlink 2 Sharvara, Set Escape, and you get to do the whole combo from there. We have one Spirit of Yubel, one Yubel proper, and 3 Nightmare Throne. This is the reason the deck is over 40 cards. Sharvara protects your tour guide from Imperm and Valor. It does not protect it from Ash. Phantom of Yubel does. So we're not playing a Yubel engine to do a crazy Yubel combo. We just want to protect our tour guide. Let me fucking drag myself over here. Now you can see everything. So that's why we're playing Nightmare Throne. Since we're at 40 cards, you can cut the 5 Yubel cards, 39, add a Called by the Grave, go to 40, or play 3 copies of Rakea. I just don't think having 6 normal summons in 40 cards is great. If I was playing 40 cards, I'd obviously probably cut the second Rakea, and then you can do like 1 Called by 1 Crossout, or you can do like 1 Called by 1 Talent. Or 2 copies of Thrust. Thrust is great in this deck because all of your Playmaker traps are normal traps. And that is all for the engine and sub-engines. Now we've got the non-engine, 15 hand traps, 3 Drollin Lock, concession to this format, pretty good at stopping Fiendsmith if they start with Engraver, 3 Effect Veiler, I really like Targeted Negation, 3 Ash Blossom, the best generic non-engine in the game, 3 Nibiru, very fun little combo. You can activate Nibiru, chain Rakea to lock yourself into Fiends. Nibiru will resolve itself as much as possible, meaning you will tribute off the whole field while keeping Nibiru in hand, either as discard fodder from your Abominable Unchained Soul, or to just threaten Nibiru on follow-up combos. And finally, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence for 15 non-engine and 44 cards. Not a huge amount of non-engine for that many cards, but it is the best non-engine, I feel, for this format. This could be Carlos if you want to play Charmies, but if the point of this is budget, I feel like the 90-cent common Nibirus are pretty damn nice. So that is the main deck. Let me show you the extra deck, and then maybe we'll get into a little bit of combos, but not too many, because the combos are pretty simple. This isn't really a combo deck. On to the extra deck here. Pretty simple stuff. We've got the mandatory double Soul of Rage, double Soul Lord of Yama Balls, 1 Dog of Red, 1 Dog of Purple. These are the 6-card Unchained suite. I made 2 Soul of Rage pretty often thanks to my level 8 main deck dog. I only ever made 1 of this. Made this once to threaten a removal spell when I went second. This is really only something you make when you're going second. And then I didn't make this card, but it's probably worth playing because it is 3 removal spells and 1 minimum 2. And I really did. I don't think you would ever cut it. It's like always the second best Dark Link 4 you can make, unless you're not playing Avow, and then it's pretty much the best. Our extra stuff is Muckraker for the... I should put that up here. Muckraker from the Underworld revives all your other stuff, is another way to get Sharvara out of your hand if you don't want to use its effect. Our targets for Soul of Rage, we got 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Nightmare Unicorn for corner cases in which you are fiend locked on your opponent's turn when you like pop a when you use like a Rakea effect or whatever. 1 Abauku, the Lightless Shadow. I only made this once, and the only reason I made it was so I could protect my escape of the Unchained from the Malice Trap that banished. I linked off with one of their Link 2s and a Soul of Rage for this, and that resolution they banished this because their Banish Trap doesn't target. So that tells you why I was saying you can cut this card for access code and be fine. The only reason this came up was so I could not get my trap banished. 1 Underworld Goddess. This is a meta call for my own locals metagame. There's a lot of Towers Turbo players. We got a Raid Raptor player, a Pearly player. This outs both of those. 1 DDD Wave High King Caesar. 1 DDD Divisor King Machinex. Never made it, but theoretically it's a good thing if you're playing against a deck that doesn't do a lot of summon effects. You can just make this and shuffle their monster away. And then the real reason that's here is for Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. I did not make either of these cards. I'll probably cut these for Typhon and then maybe an access code talker or maybe a second SP Little Knight. And finally, for the Yubel stuff, we got 1 Phantom of Yubel to insulate our tour guide normal summons from Ash Blossom and Valor. That is the main and extra deck. Side decks are heavily dependent on your local metagame, so I'm not going to bother like setting all these out. This is Lancia, obviously. The best card against Malice right now. I've been thinking about putting in Chaos Hunter because it's a Fiend monster, which means it's half of Soul Lord of Yama. and if you summon it by pitching Sharvara, you get to set an Unchained trap, which can potentially revive Sharvara, so you can link it off for Yama with the Chaos Hunter before committing to any of your plays. It's kind of like Labyrinth-brained tech, but since Sharv is only a 2-of, I don't think it's worth it. Lancia is better because it's harder to stop. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, I don't want to get my Soul of Rage and Yamas banished by Bystials, and a lot of people at my locals are playing Bystials. Dark Ruler no more because this deck can break boards. I would not main board breakers because this deck is very good at going first. I think you should side your board breakers and main hand traps. Dimensional Barrier for the aforementioned Pearly and what's-his-face Raid Raptor players at my locals. And Evenly Matched is a second board breaker. Kind of a confliction with Nibiru, but you can also discard it to Abominable Unchained Soul, so it's not that big of a deal. You do have a way to get cards out of your hand. These were really cards I went back and forth on. I don't know if I would keep them in, but I also don't have anything I would cut them for. Like, I don't have any copies of Thrust, Talents, or Droplet, so this is probably the best 15-card side for my local metagame. Let's show you a couple one-card combos. All right, let's show the Tour Guide one-card combo. This is nothing new, but since some people new to TCG might be curious how it goes, I'll show it off. Nightmare Throne is just here to show you can do the very basic stuff, right? You'll activate Throne, pop Spirit, summon Yubel, shuffle both back, and then that will make a Phantom on your field, which just insulates you from Ash. If you have a Sharvara or Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, or Abomination's Prison, that's the one. Abomination's Prison, you'll search Sharvara, and Sharvara protects your Tour Guide from Impermanent Veiler because you'll activate Tour Guide, they'll chain targeting negation, you'll chain Sharvara, destroy the Tour Guide, so when your targeting effect negation resolves, Tour Guide's not on the field, it will resolve and summon your Rhino Warrior. We'll just activate the effect, summon Penis Rhino Warrior right here. You know how this goes. We're making our Soul Lord of Yama immune to, or chain blocked from Ash Blossom and stuff, because we'll do Chain Link 1, the Yama, and Chain Link 2, the Rhino Warrior. So Rhino Warrior will send Sharv to the graveyard. Let's just play this out. Let's just do this fast and loose. You won't worry about the zones. And then Yama will search Aruha on a new chain. Sharvara will activate to set the trap you want to end on, which will be Escape of the Unchained. You will activate the Aruha effect in your hand to target Escape of the Unchained, destroying Escape and summoning Aruha. Escape will activate in your graveyard to summon out specifically Sarama. That is how you recycle your Escape. You will activate Sarama targeting Escape to set it face down to your field. This is such a mess. To set it face down to your field, then destroy the Aruha on your field. Aruha will activate in the graveyard to special summon another Unchained monster from your deck. This time you will summon the Shayama, and this is how you'll remove spell traps. You'll target your Sarama, destroy it, and then at resolution you'll destroy the Fiendsmith sequence equipped to Desiree to prevent targeting, and then it can be targeted so you can link it off. You can then link off these two for the Link 3, target the Desiree to force out the negation, stuff like that. And then play through it some other way. Which is not difficult to do because when this is in your graveyard, you can revive this by popping something else. That will summon the Abomination, or Abominable Unchained Soul, whatever the fuck the level 8 is. Unchained Soul Disaster, and then since you already baited out the Desiree negate, you'll then link off the Desiree in this. So that's how you out Desiree. But for the purposes of this turn 1 combo, you will link these two off. You won't use the effect to pop yet. Link these two off for Soul of Rage in the what is supposed to be the EMZ. Just work with me, please. Then in the graveyard, you'll activate Shayama targeting Sarama, popping Sarama, reviving the Shayama. Then this is where you would do the summon this from deck before Sharvara came to 2, and you still can. For example, if you have the Unchained spell trap that revives the Call to Haunted the Chamber, you can then do this, leave it in your graveyard, then revive it and link something off. I still like doing this because I like having an extra Sharvara in hand for follow-up turns to stop targeted negation, so I still do play this when going first for this reason. If you do summon this card, you will then... If you don't summon this card, rather, and you summon Sharvara number 2, you'll just make Caesar right here, so that's the end of the combo and you're done. But since we went through this card, we will activate Shayama, targeting this to destroy it. Then getting the ability to destroy a spell or trap on the field if we want to. If we went second, we didn't, so we're not going to do that. We will then revive the Sarama, as I mentioned, and then we will make Caesar in the extra monster zone, and by that I mean the far right zone, or the far left. Whichever one you put Soul of Rage in, you'll put Wave King Caesar on the other side. That way your monsters are protected from like weird corner case shit, like the S-Force Guy, Geonator Transverser, stuff like that. So that is the one-card combo. Rage, Escape, Caesar. You can ignore these because this would make it a two-card combo. And the point is not to leave Yubel on the field. The point is to use Yubel to protect yourself from Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Valor. This is not something that you should be expecting to end on. You should be expecting to end on just these two, because this is your bread and butter. And it's very powerful because you can Escape of the Unchained to pop your Soul of Rage, and like any continuous spell trap or field spell that does something on activation, Malice and Underground, for example. There's a Plant Link player at my locals who has a continuous spell that I believe, or a continuous trap that adds Ragnaraikas. There's also the Aroma card that pays 1,000. You can pop that to fade it. And then when you do fade that, of course, you can banish Yama, bring back the Soul of Rage, and then if you had another card set, you can pop that and then summon the Abominable Unchained Soul from your deck to destroy another card on the field without targeting. That's another way to out Desiree, because Abominable Unchained Soul does not target when it destroys. Pretty simple stuff. That's the tour guide combo. I'll show you one more. It ends on the exact same board, so like it's not like stronger to open other things. It's just you don't need to open tour guide or lose. So let me show you what two other combos that end on these two cards look like. 3 cards, rather. Alrighty, so the next combo is a 2-carder, and it's going to take any of your Unchained cards that pop stuff on Quick Effect, plus any of your Speller Traps or a way to search them. You do have to activate A-Bomb's Prison to search either these 2 cards if you didn't open one of these 2, or one of these monsters if you didn't open one of them, because Abomination's Prison does not have Unchained in its name. You cannot target it to set it off of Sarama, so you are going to need to activate it and potentially lose to Droll Lock. But again, if you opened like any permutation of these 3 monsters, like 2 of them, like Aruha plus Rakea, Sarama plus Rakea, Aruha plus Sarama, you're fine, and you don't care if you get Drolled on it, because you only need to search once in that case. Another reason why this deck is very good into Droll. The only times you lose to Droll is when you exactly open A-Bomb's Prison plus one of these other cards and nothing else. And if that is the case, you probably drew a ton of hand traps, so you're kind of okay going on like Rage Pass with 3 hand traps and Escape. So let's talk about what that looks like. Let's do Aruha first, because we've already gotten to the combo where we used Aruha. We searched off of Yama, so now we'll do it a bit of a different way. So let's say we've opened, we opened Chamber plus Aruha here. Begin by setting your card, activating Aruha on hand, targeting your set card, destroying it to summon Aruha. Aruha will activate to summon from deck your Sharvara. Then you will link these 2 off for your Yama. There he is. Yama will activate as Chainlink 1. Sharvara will activate as Chainlink 2. Sharvara will resolve first, setting your Escape of the Unchained in the back row. And Yama will add the Rakea to your hand right here. Now, since we did not normal to execute this part of the combo, we will normal summon Rakea, and then, like we used Aruha on hand to target our set, we'll activate Rakea rather, on field to target our set card, pop it, which will then summon from our deck the Sarama. Sarama will activate to target the Escape of the Unchained, set it to destroy Rakea, summoning Shayama from the deck, and from now it's basically the same as we did before. You should remember, link these 2 off for the Soul of Rage. Activate Shayama in Graveyard to target the Sarama, destroy it, and summon itself. We will then activate to either summon the second Sharvara and overlay for Caesar, or go for 1 extra step, summoning the Disaster, target it on field with Shayama, destroy it to revive the Sharvara from grave, overlay these 2 for Kaisar. We have another Soul of Rage underneath it, but just ignore that for the video. These gloves are really not conducive to filming deck profiles. And that is how you do the Rage, Escape, Caesar with your 2 Unchained cards. Again, if you open Rakea plus that, you would do the same thing, but once you make Yama, you would search Aruha instead of Rakea, and you'd still set Escape off of the Sharv that you sent to grave. So I guess the last thing we can do is show you how to do it with Sharvara. Instead of summoning an Unchained for its floating effect, you're just summoning it to link it off. So I guess we can show that. Finally, we're going to show off Sharvara plus Chamber again. Same stuff. Set it. Activate Sharv from your hand. Targeting. Pop it. This is a lot less interesting because we're not going to be able to get a secondary float off of an Unchained we summon, so we'll go for the... we also didn't use our normal summon, so we can still potentially use either of these. Let's go for Rakea. Actually, let's go for Aruha just to get it out of our deck. You would rather have less Aruha in your deck, I feel like, after turn 1, since like your normal becomes a lot less important once you have all the resources you need in your grid. Then you'll just link these 2 off for Soul Lord of Yama. Yama Chainlink 1, Sharv Chainlink 2. Sharv will set the Unchained trap you have not used yet, in this case Escape, which is the one we'll be ending on. And Lord of Yama will search... actually, you can also just search a second Aruha. We'll take this one out of the graveyard just because I didn't have a second one handy. You can also search the same one you activated since we didn't use any of this card's hard once per turn effects. Then we'll activate Sharv in hand. This is good because if they have something that negates cards in hand, and you open maybe a Rakea as well, and you just did it this way to like preserve your normal summon to play around hand traps, and they stop this card, you'll have a Rakea in hand. You can normal target and do everything you need that way. So we'll activate Aruha. You already know how this goes by now. Destroy it, summon it, bring out the Sarama. I don't even know if I need to show the rest of this off. You can feel free to skip it if you want to. Because from here, you've already seen what we've done multiple times. Sarama, target the Unchained trap you want to end your turn on, which is always Escape. Set that face down, destroy the Aruha. Aruha floats into the level 6 blue. Link off the level 6 blue and Yama for Soul of Rage. Shayama Engrave will activate, targeting your Sarama, summoning itself and destroying Sarama. Sarama will float either into the second Yama or second Sharvara or the 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster. Again, if you summon Sharvara, overlay, your turn's over. Activate Shayama if you did not summon Sharvara, targeting Disaster, pop Disaster, revive the Sharvara we started our turn with, and then overlay them for the Caesar in the far right zone. Or the far left, depending on which side of the board you like to play on. That is the deck. It does this thing very consistently. It's like probably my favorite deck to play. I know I sort of got like my start with like Live Twin. I'm sort of known for Live Twin, but gameplay-wise, I think Unchained's probably my favorite deck to play. It's not super combo heavy. It's very mid-rangey. It has a lot of spot removals. Caesar is the only thing that says negate on it outside of... Yubel doesn't even really say negate, but again, you're not ending your turn on Yubel. You're protecting your tour guide with Yubel. So it's not negate slop. It's purely spot removal and card advantage. I think the way Escape partners up with Yama and Soul of Rage is so fun because you'll get to remove a card your opponent controls, bring back Soul of Rage, add Sarama back to your hand for your normal summon next turn, to recycle your Unchained traps. It's so incredibly good. This is another reason why you only need to play one, because you have very, very, very liberal access to your graveyard in this deck. It's a ton of fun. I highly suggest you pick it up. Again, you can cut the A-Bow for an access code Talker to save $30 on your extra deck. And if you want to, and you're not worried about like hand traps on your tour guide, you can just cut the entire Yubel engine and just play a called by / cross out, or a called by and just a called by. Yeah, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I will be making another one of these for post-Alliance Insight Live Twins, hopefully with a better fucking camera mount so my thing isn't shaking all the time. But if you like this video, please feel free to leave a comment. I don't know how good or bad deck profiles are going to do on this channel, but I hope to do more because I actually really like TCG, and I hate playing Master Duel and Duel Links. So this is kind of the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Content I have the drive to make more of. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're not playing Unchained, what are you playing this format? I'm going to be sticking with this. I might be playing Fiendsmith Unchained once I get my 3rd engraver and pick up a copy of Aerial Leader. And if I do, I'll show that off because the Unchained combo is actually very different with the Fiendsmith cards. Yep, I'll see you all whenever I see y'all. Kisses and hugs. See you in hell. Bye!